And once again, a very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium once again, day number 2, quarterfinal and semifinal day, and we have quarterfinal number 3 lined up next between Collinsville and Mundelein. This is a rematch of the 2019 championship game here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic that Collinsville won 63-48, so they are the defending champions since we did not have a tournament last year. And we will see two totally different teams than what we saw in 2019 when these two teams met in that championship game, as we welcome in Dr. Chris McCluskey on the other microphone. And this should be a fun game, but really it's a matchup of two teams that were in the championship in 2019, but two totally different teams.
Yeah, good afternoon, Todd. Thanks for having us back. And you got that right. Boy, what a game that 2019 game was between Mundelein and Collinsville. Two excellent teams. It came down to their wire. And you know, guys played in that game that are playing at the college level now. And certainly two totally different teams this afternoon, but two talented teams nonetheless. And we should be in for a good matchup here this afternoon for this 1 o'clock Prairie Farms tournament game in Virgil Fletcher Gym.
Collinsville got here by beating Wasilla, Alaska last night, 82-49. Mundelein took care of Oakville, Missouri by a score of 48-29 in yesterday's contest. Here are your starters. We will begin with the Mundelein Mustangs. They will trot out onto the floor Tyler Moaning, a senior, and we do not have heights for the Mundelein team. Brock Pollock is also a senior. Mari Reinhardt, a senior. Derek Bishop, a freshman. And Chris Martin, who is a junior. For the Collinsville K-Hawks, they will bring out the usual suspects. Travion Swagger, the 6'1 senior. Nick Horace, the 6'2 sophomore. Devin Davis, the 6'2 senior. Jake Wilkinson, the 6'4 junior. And Matt Clark, the 6'3 senior. Taking a look at yesterday's stats as far as Collinsville's win over Wasilla. Collinsville hit 38 of 67 two-point baskets, but only 1 of 9 from the three-point line and 5 of 9 from the charity stripe. While the Collinsville K-Hawks ended up pulling down 44 rebounds in yesterday's game. They turned the ball over 9 times.
That was the stat I was looking for. I knew we were strong on the glass, especially how many offensive boards did we have?
Offensive boards we had yesterday, 15 compared to 29 on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Need a little bit more of that today. And for Mundelein yesterday, they shot 19 of 34 from the floor, 3 of 9 from the three-point stripe, and 7 of 9 from the free throw line. They put up 31 rebounds themselves, but they turned the ball over a whopping 21 times yesterday in that win over Oakville.
Well, we can only hope that they'll repeat that turnover performance tonight. That'll bode well for your Collinsville K-Hawks.
Sure will. Collinsville actually the visiting team here in this game this afternoon in this quarterfinal number 3. They're here in their purple uniforms, trimmed in white. Numbers are in white, and they have the words Collinsville written across the fronts of their jerseys over the tops of their numbers. The Mundelein Mustangs, Mr. Badgley. Badgley is the head coach of Mundelein, and he will trot out his 5 starters here in just a moment when Chad Burgess gives us the starting 5, and they will come out in their white uniforms. Got a little gray trim going down the sides. Numbers are in red on the fronts and the backs, and the word Mustangs written across the fronts of their jerseys over the tops of their numbers. Winner of this game will take on the winner of the day's final quarterfinal. That'll be coming up next between O'Fallon and Granite City.
Yeah, you know, that should be an interesting game. Everybody will pick O'Fallon, but Granite City is actually pretty good this year. And if they can run the floor, they may give O'Fallon, you know, a run for their money in that quarterfinal game.
They sure can. We know they're capable of it. And if O'Fallon comes here thinking lightly of Granite City, they might be in a little bit of trouble.
That's exactly right.
We're coming off the heels of semifinal number 2, a real barn burner all the way down, man. Quincy, 33 over Lincoln, 30. So Quincy will move on. They'll take on Decatur MacArthur in tonight's first semifinal at 6:30. The next semifinal will be at 8 o'clock, and it will include the winner of this game between Collinsville and Mundelein. Collinsville will be traveling from right to left on your screen. Mundelein doing just the opposite. Both teams have a player at center court. And we are underway here in the third quarterfinal of the day. Tip-off won by Mundelein, and they will start off with the ball on offense.
Yeah, significant mismatch down low. You've got Mr. Clark on number 40 for Mundelein, and Clark's given up about 6 inches.
Out to the outside is where this one starts, and for Mundelein, that is Tyler Moaning at the top of the key. Dribbles his way over toward the wing, gives it up, and they move it up inside now, and that is Chris Martin. Martin turns around, takes the shot, and that's how we start the scoring with Mundelein up 2-0. Collinsville begins their first attack. Here is Devin Davis. Davis across the timeline, gives it up to Swaggart over on the left wing. Now back over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson back to Swaggart. Swaggart dribbles and picks it up and gives it up to Davis at the free throw line. Over to Nick Horace. Back out front to the top of the key for Swaggart. Horace back over on the left side wing once again, and Collinsville keeps it outside of the perimeter for just a minute. There is Swaggart making his move, dumps it off for Matt Clark. Shot from about 12 feet out, swoops and won't fall, and there is Swaggart with the rebound. And Collinsville, Swaggart tries to put it back up, and he is fouled in the process, and Chris Martin will be handed the game's first foul.
Yeah, nice step through, and, getting Mr. Martin a foul early in the game. I mean, when you look on the basketball court, one guy stands out, and that's Mr. Martin. If we can get him in foul trouble, that could be trouble for Mundelein down the line.
Travion Swaggart at the free throw line. Swaggart last night only had one opportunity, and he missed that one, and now he's 0 for 2 in the tournament from the charity stripe. Just underway here in the first, 6:53 left to play in this first quarter. 2-0 in favor of Mundelein. Swaggart trying to get his team on the board. He'll wait a little bit longer, and the rebound was handled by Chris Martin. And they move it up, give it to Bishop. Bishop trying to get across the timeline. He does so, and there's a picked off pass by Devin Davis. He read that one perfectly, dumps it off to Trey Swaggart. And Swaggart makes up for the 2 missed free throws by putting one in. Collinsville's on the board.
Nice unselfish play by junior Devin Davis. Gives it up to Trey Swaggart. Good team play by the K-Hawks.
Double team over here on the side. Bishop has the ball ripped out of his hands by Swaggart, and Swaggart will go up and put it in himself, and it's a 2-point lead for Collinsville.
Yeah, the guard from Mundelein drove into that trap, and that's trouble with Trey Swaggart. He's quick as a cat.
He is. There's Bishop across the line. Gets it into the hands of Reinhardt. Reinhardt on the near sideline. He's being double teamed, and that one is going to end up in a foul against Swaggart just as Wilkinson was getting ready to walk away with that ball.
Ooh, baby. Hey, if Mundelein's going to get trapped in the corner, I say we take advantage of it all afternoon.
Yeah. While that's going on, somebody wearing a white jersey is open somewhere. They're just having a hard time finding them. Here is Bishop at the free throw line, and they give it up onto the far side wing for Reinhardt. Now back over to
That could
Martin.
be a double dribble.
Almost was. Bishop over to Reinhardt, and inside the paint we go for Pollock. Pollock has the ball ripped out of his hands, but we're going to have another foul called. And this one is going to go against Collinsville as well.
Yeah, this guy that called the foul was all the way over by Darren Lee. He wasn't even near the action. He's the same guy that called the foul up in the back or the front court in the last play. So let's keep an eye on this gentleman and his whistle.
Devin Davis picks up his first. Collinsville now with 2 fouls. Comes into Bishop. Bishop drives and then loses control of the ball, but they're going to say it went off of Wilkinson over there, so Mundelein will get to keep it. 5:40 left to play, first quarter.
Your K-Hawks are playing some really scrappy, aggressive defense right now, and that's certainly nice to see.
Pollock with the inbound pass, and Pollock gets it right back from Bishop. And then out onto the wing it goes for Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets it over here for Bishop, and Derek Bishop with a shot, no good. And the loose ball picked up by Travion Swaggart. Swaggart gets it up quickly for Clark, who gives it to Horace for 3. That one's a little too long. Saw that when it left his hands.
Yeah, Nicky was feeling good about that good defensive play. He set up and fired that ball, but thank goodness the Mustangs knocked it out of bounds. It'll be out of bounds, Devin Davis at the baseline.
Davis inbounds underneath of his own basket, does so to Wilkinson in the right side corner. Wilkinson into the perimeter, kicks it back out for Horace. Horace, he'll dribble and he'll drive it over to the other side, and Swaggart ends up with it for 3 from the corner, and that one's a little bit too long as well. Davis with the rebound, and he tries to put it back up and in, won't go in, but another tip up, still won't go. Matt Clark puts it back up, still won't go. Davis keeps the ball, goes up, still can't get it to go in. Collinsville with about 5 rebounds there on the offensive boards.
About 5 fouls on that exchange,
I hear you too.
This guy doesn't want to blow his whistle this time.
Swaggart gets it out front now for Horace once again. Here is Davis. He loses a screen, and now a jump ball called, and the possession arrow in favor of Collinsville. So the Jayhawks continuing to live large down here underneath their own basket.
Yeah, they're aggressive, and they're getting their rebounds. Doesn't bode well for the shot percentage, but at least they retain possession. We'll see if we can't extend this lead.
Davis inbounds once again, same spot, does so to Wilkinson. Wilkinson with a little move to get around some folks and pops one from about 8 feet out.
And nice pump fake, dribble drive, stop and pop from 10 feet. Collinsville up 6-2.
There is Reinhardt. He gets trapped on a double team. Gets rid of the ball, though, to Bishop. Bishop throws it over in the corner, and that is Martin. Martin drives, loses the ball. Davis comes up with it. Up to Swaggart. Swaggart goes in, can't get finished, and then the follow-up by Nick Horace doesn't go in either, and the rebound belongs to Mundelein. Bishop works the ball up over onto the left side wing. We're about halfway through the first quarter, and a three-point shot won't hit the mark, and there is Travion Swaggart with the rebound. Devin Davis brings it up for the Jayhawks.
And if Collinsville was even 50% from layup right now, we'd be up 15 points.
Yep, sure would be. Here is Swaggart. Kicks it over to Davis. He'll line it up for three, and it rattles but won't fall. Rebound belongs to Bishop. Mundelein Mustangs move it back up the court. 3:45 to play here in this opening quarter. Here it is over onto the wing for Reinhardt. Reinhardt into the corner for Bishop. Back onto the wing for Reinhardt. And Reinhardt, one dribble, picks it up, and backwards it goes to Tyler Moaning. Moaning, he can shoot three from anywhere, so be aware of that as well. He'll come into the paint, and Collinsville will get another foul. This one may go against Nick Horace.
Yeah, nice dribble drive by Moaning from Mundelein, and that's going to put him at the line for a chance for 2 free throws.
2 free throws. And at the key, free throw line, no good. 6-2 the score remains. At the free throw line, Tyler Moaning with one more shot. Moaning from the free throw line. Well, he didn't make it to the free throw line in yesterday's game. So his first trip there right now, he's already missed one, and he'll make the other one and cut the lead in half, 6-3.
Fairly low-scoring affair here in Collinsville to start this quarterfinal game.
Dayton Horace comes in for Travion Swaggart, and Dayton with the ball right now. At midcourt, gives it up to Deontay Franklin. Franklin came into the game also. And up front, into the paint, and Devin Davis off the glass, good for 2. And a bonus shot coming up as well. And this foul is going to belong to Brock Pollock. That'll be his first, team second.
Man, nice strong move by Devin Davis. I mean, you could hear the slap from all the way up here. And he continued to get that ball high up off the glass. We'll see if he can get a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Davis at the free throw line, shooting one. Yesterday, 2 for 2 from the line, and he misses that one. Rebound. That belongs to the man who committed the foul, Brock Pollock. He gets it up into the hands of Derek Bishop. Bishop hands the ball off to Moaning, gets it right back out to Moaning. Moaning has it go off of his hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, good for a turnover for Mundelein. I tell you, they went right to Mr. Martin, that first driver there, that first possession of the game, and I thought that would be key for them, and they haven't gone back to him since.
Kevin Moyer checks into the game for the first time for the Mustangs. It's 8-3 in favor of Collinsville as we have a little less than 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Here is Devin Davis. Davis drives it up to the perimeter and then stops at the top of the key. Gives it up now for Franklin. Franklin back to Davis. Davis offset slot to the right. Dribbles. Gets around and then picks it up into the corner for Franklin, who can hit for 3, and he does.
Yes, sir. Boy, Franklin's been shooting the ball well from the perimeter this year off the bench. That's a big three-point bucket by Mr. Franklin.
11-3. Collinsville extends their lead. Here is Bishop across the timeline with 2:20 left to play here in this first quarter. Gets it up onto the top of the key for Pollock. Pollock, a couple of dribbles, gives it up back to for Bishop. Bishop tries to penetrate in from the left wing or make that the right wing. No room. And then he gets it right back from Pollock, does Bishop.
Nice defense by 24 Dayton Horace. He's all over the place.
He is, and he is traveling right along with the just inserted Kevin Moyer. Now we go back out front to Reinhardt. Reinhardt, he runs into a double team. Back over to Bishop. Top of the key for Martin. Martin into the paint, hop, skip, and a jump, and it's no good. Rebound belongs to Devin Davis. Davis brings it up. His team up 11-3. 1:40 left to go here in this opening quarter. Here's a three-point shot. That's a little bit too hard off of the hands of Mr. Wilkinson, and now a whistle on the ensuing play, and we're going to have a foul coming up against Devin Davis. That'll be his second.
Yeah, Devin's got to be very careful. Those slap fouls are not smart, especially in a tournament game. But, hey, big kudos to 32, Matt Clark. I mean, he is really muscling up Mr. Martin, giving up about 6 inches, and he's just not taking no for an answer.
Bishop brings the ball up across the K-Hawk logo at midcourt. We're down to the final 85 seconds of this opening quarter, and it's been a pretty good one so far. Here is Martin. Kicks it out front, and over into the corner it goes to Reinhardt. Reinhardt, one dribble, and he moves into the perimeter, kicks it back out to Martin, over to Bishop. Bishop moves toward the top of the key, has Matt Clark right in front of his face. Bounce pass into Martin. Back to Bishop it goes. Franklin peels off of Martin and takes care of Bishop. And now a bounce pass onto the wing for Reinhardt. Reinhardt from the free throw line gets it back out to Bishop for three, and that one's good.
Boy, that was a great series of offense and defense. Mundelein moving the ball well. Collinsville played great man-up defense on the two-man game, but that results in 3 points for Mundelein.
Down to the final 45 seconds here in this first quarter. It's now a 5-point game. Here is Wilkinson, and just inside the perimeter, a little floater, good for two.
Yeah, Wilkinson's really got that little runner dialed in, and that's a nice comeback after giving up a three-point play. Let's see what Collinsville can do on the defensive side of the court.
Final 30 seconds in this first quarter. Here is Bishop crossing the midcourt logo. Over onto the right wing. He'll hand the ball off to Moyer. Moyer dumps it off outside the lane for Martin, and Martin just bowls right over Clark, and that's going to be the second foul against Mr. Martin here in this first quarter.
Man, can't say enough about Matt Clark. We just mentioned it. He's muscling up. He's holding his ground, and Martin, you know, he's getting frustrated. So he used his body, and Clark did a good sell job. And, man, what a huge turnover for Mundelein closing out the first quarter here.
Cade McLaughlin will check in for Martin with his 2 fouls. He'll stay on the bench for a moment. Collinsville looking for the last shot here with 10 seconds left in quarter number 1. Here is Nick Horace back at the midcourt stripe. Horace gets free of a couple of players and then gets a couple more. Deontay Franklin for 3, nor the buzzer, and nope, would not fall in. And after 1 quarter of play, 13-6 is our score. Collinsville with the lead. Second quarter action comes your way next on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
Drink it in. Powerful, vibrant, nutrient-rich fuel for healthy, active, experience-rich lives. So you can be your best self, live your best life, and rule the day.
Back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, 13-6. Collinsville with the lead after 1 quarter of play. K-Hawks have been playing some stellar defense, and they have capitalized on opportunistic moments on the offensive side of things as well.
Yeah, Collinsville playing pretty well. You certainly got to be happy after that first quarter of basketball if you're Coach Darren Lee. You got to watch foul trouble. Looks like we've got our junior, number 42, Mr. Remar, in the game for the K-Hawks now.
Adam Remar checks in, and here is a Bishop. Bishop across the line. Gets it into the hands of Reinhardt. He's double-teamed and gets out of it with a little stutter step. Back over to Bishop. Bishop gets around Swaggart. Swaggart's going to get guilty of a elbow call.
I think that'll be number 2 on Trey as well, won't it?
Yeah, Trey for 2, and Devin Davis also with 2.
Yeah, so the key is if you're Devin Davis and Trey Swaggart, you just don't pick up that third foul while you're in the second quarter.
Second quarter just underway. Mundelein with the ball. They inbound to Martin, who went to the bench with his 2 fouls. and came back out to start the second quarter. Here's a bounce pass inside by Moaning to Martin off the side of the backboard. Won't go. And another foul being to be handed out to Collinsville. This one's either going to go against Horace or Remar.
Yeah, I like bringing Remar in to give Clark a break. Remar's a big, tall, strong kid who should be able to handle Martin.
And they will call it against Remar. Pollock at the free throw line. And his first trip to the charity stripe in this tournament, and he misses the first one.
You know, speaking of the foul situation, the good news for Collinsville is they have a fairly deep bench. I mean, they regularly play 9 or 10 guys, and they got another couple that can play. You know, so if it comes down to some foul issues, I think Collinsville has the advantage compared to Mundelein.
Wilkinson comes in for Swaggart. Excuse me. To the bench is Bishop, and Kevin Moyer checks back in for Mundelein. 7:36 to play here in this second quarter. 13-6 in favor of Collinsville. Pollock at the free throw line, missed the first one. Here's the second one, and that one's good. Makes it a 13-7 game. Collinsville works the ball up court. Here is Nick Horace. Gives it over to older brother Dayton. Dayton Horace at the midcourt Collinsville K-Hawk logo. Gives it back to Nick. Top of the key now for Remar. Back over to Dayton. And back to Wilkinson. And a foul is going to be called against Reinhardt before Wilkinson can even, they're going to call it against Collinsville, aren't they?
A little elbow action.
Remar comes off the bench, picks up two.
Two
so
fouls.
now him, Davis, and Swaggart all have 2 fouls, and we still have a lot of time to go.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. The foul game could play with these early fouls being called.
Bishop checks back into the game, and he brings it across the line with Dayton Horace in his face. Bishop over on the left side. That's on the far side away from your screen. Gives it up to Moaning. Moaning, top of the key. Sling pass over onto the wing, and now we work it up into the perimeter for Martin. Martin looks to drive the baseline. He's cut off, and now we're going to have another foul call. Boy, I tell you what, fouls are coming left and right against Collinsville here. This one's going to go against Deontay Franklin.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens, though, when you play aggressive defense. You run the risk of, getting those slap fouls and holding and things like that. So Collinsville's going to have to pay a little bit of attention and make sure they don't put themselves in a heap of a mess as far as foul trouble is concerned in the second half.
Martin at the free throw line went 2 for 4 yesterday, and now he's 2 of 5, and Collinsville gets the rebound after the miss. So no harm. I could say no harm, no foul, but there was a foul. Here is Remar, and a turnover.
Yeah, Jake Wilkinson just couldn't handle that basketball. Remar's upset. He thinks he got fouled, but you just got to take your licks and move on and play defense, kid.
I'm telling you what, the whistles have seemed a little lopsided. Remember all the fouls down here that weren't called a moment ago?
It's 8-3 right now. So, whether it's, sometimes that's just the way that it shakes out. But here we are.
I'm sure Coach Lee has already said, hey, you want to even those out a little bit over there or what? Over
Certainly in the first quarter it seemed that way.
Moaning gets it into Martin. Martin misses the shot. Ball goes out of bounds, stays with Mundelein.
Yeah, very good defense by Adam Remar. Collinsville's doing a great job of shutting Martin down currently, and that's going to be a key to this ball game.
6:28 left to play here in this first half. Ball comes into Pollock. Pollock trapped in the corner in front of the K-Hawk bench, gets out of it with a dribble and gives it up to Moaning. Moaning in front of the scorer's table, bounces it into the perimeter back to Pollock. Pollock dribbles his way toward the lane, not letting him get much room. Now to Martin at the free throw line. Martin throws it up in the corner for Moaning. He'll launch a 3 from anywhere, but that one's a little too
strong.
That should be
over the back.
And a non-call, but the loose ball belongs to Collinsville. Here is Dayton Horace. Horace gives it up to younger brother Nick in the corner. Now just outside the lane to Remar, and finally that was a little tap from behind that they called a foul against Kevin Moyer. I've seen worse things than that underneath this basket already in this game that wasn't called.
Dayton Horace. Nicky Horace is going to take the ball out. Big brother Dayton comes and he says, get out of here, kid. Give me that basketball.
I outrank you.
That was awesome.
There is Dayton Horace with the inbound, and he does so to Remar just outside the lane. Remar in the paint, kicks it back outside, and Wilkinson, I thought he stopped her.
I thought he was going to shoot the ball.
I thought he was too.
range.
Then he just stopped. I thought there was a whistle or something.
I think he realized where he was.
There is Dayton Horace out front to Franklin. Over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson, free throw line, takes a shot, and it's good.
Man, that Wilkinson can shoot the basketball.
He sure can.
Buddy. He had a hand in his face, but he was confident. I mean, he shot that like it was his job.
15-7. It is his job, isn't it? I mean, I know he's not getting paid for it,
right.
but it is his job. Over onto the wing, Moaning gives it up to Bishop. Bishop tries to get around Horace, and he does so and rolls it right off the left side of the rim and in. 15-9. Collinsville leads by 6. 5:10 left to play here in this second quarter. Here is a no-look pass to Remar from Wilkinson, and Remar tries to turn around jump shot, rolls across the rim, and that
Collinsville ball
is out of bounds, and it is going to stay with Collinsville.
Good call by this referee on the baseline. Good hustle by Jake Wilkinson. We're going to have the elder Horace take the ball out on the baseline for the K-Hawks.
I was on my feet for about 14 hours yesterday, man. I'm going to take a seat here for a moment. Here is Reinhardt. Reinhardt comes in and hits the side of the backboard with it, but we're going to have a foul called, and this one is going to go against Nick Horace.
Yeah, Mundelein's figured out now they're going to have to attack the basket. You know, that's what they were doing with Martin early in the game, and now their guards are doing it, and it's really what's climbed them back into this ball game.
Reinhardt at the free throw line, shooting 2. He was 1 for 1 from the charity stripe in yesterday's game, as Vinny Rogalowski is ready to check in for Mundelein. And Reinhardt hits the first one. Into double digits are the Mustangs. 15-10 is our score. Davis Swaggart and Matt Clark check back in for Collinsville, and the aforementioned Vinny Rogalowski checks into the game for Mundelein.
Yeah, Collinsville started strong, and they've kind of gone cold, allowing Mundelein to get back into this ball game.
And that they have. It's now to within 4. Just under 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Here is Devin Davis. And Reinhardt provides the coverage, number 23 against number 23. Davis moves, gives it up to Wilkinson. Wilkinson drives baseline, kicks it back out, but right into the hands of Moaning. And Tyler Moaning will come in, and he'll travel with that ball, but it'll still go in. Oh, he took about 5 steps.
I might want to get a timeout if I'm Darren Lee.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Things are coming off the rails for Collinsville. Mundelein's definitely got the momentum.
2-point game, Collinsville with the lead. Swaggart gets fouled in the lane, and a blocking foul going to be charged against Brock Pollock.
Man, as much of a Collinsville fan as I am, that's a questionable call. Pollock was waiting there all day, and Trey Swaggart, I mean, maybe it's because he didn't hit him head on, maybe it's because he got him with the hit, but that I think we'll take that one and shoot the free throws and call it good.
Swaggart already 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Eyes it and hits it. K-Hawks back up by 3.
Yeah, first free throw good for Swaggart here today.
Martin checks back into the game. Pollock to the bench.
Well, here we are again with 4.5 left. How many times have we been, with a few minutes left in the second half or the first half? And I say they're pivotal minutes for both teams.
Yeah, oh yeah. Swaggart misses the second one. Rebound belongs to Martin, who gives it up to Moaning. Moaning gets it across the line to Reinhardt. Reinhardt enters from the left wing and kicks it back out, but it's up in the air for grabs. Swaggart comes up with it, got Martin trailing him, and Swaggart makes him pay with 2 points off the turnover.
Yeah, great way to use his body to shield the defender.
Ooh, that ball was almost picked off by Nick Horace. They run it up, and that is going to be a blocking call. Boy, I tell you what, that could have went either way.
Man, there's another one. That's another one. And I think they called that a block because they called this other one a block, to be honest with you. Sometimes that's how it goes in basketball. If you know you messed up, you got to make a makeup call.
That was the 10th team foul by Collinsville here in this first half, so the rest of this half, Mundelein shooting 2, and we are only halfway through quarter number 2.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not, but that helps.
Especially
this
pressure
free throw
defense.
line from Kevin Moyer, yeah. Moyer, one more shot coming to him. And he'll make the second one. 4-point game, 18-14. Collinsville with the lead and the ball. Just about 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. They get the ball up to Swaggart. Swaggart runs it over onto the left side, gives it up to Matt Clark on the left wing. Clark a give and go, and
Yes,
Davis
sir.
was left all alone. No one saw him coming back door, and Davis makes him pay.
Man, nice feed by Matt Clark. He's having a great game tonight.
There's a feed into Martin, and a shot by Martin is good, as Wilkinson almost picked off that pass. Here is Swaggart. Swaggart comes in from the left side, and a little fingertip roller won't fall, and a jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of Collinsville.
Yeah, there's Matt Clark again, muscling up Mr. Martin. Trey Swaggart got a little excited on that offensive possession. That runner looked like it might have been good in the Aux gym, not in this gym.
Yeah.
Right?
20-16, Collinsville with the 4-point lead and the ball. Devin Davis will inbound right underneath myself and Dr. McCluskey's position up here on the balcony. Davis looking.
Timeout.
Timeout. Call a timeout.
Oh, boy. We knew to call a timeout up here.
Yep. Players are allowed to call timeouts. It doesn't have to come from the coach. Any one of them could have called it. And I'm sure Coach Lee would have been happy with it.
Yeah, well, he probably should have called a timeout from the sideline, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But at any rate, doesn't matter. That's a turnover. Mundelein's going to come the other way.
Pollock inbounds, does so to Bishop. Bishop works the ball up across midcourt with a pass to Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets double teamed. Swaggart and Davis in there, and then he throws the ball away. That's what happens.
It's a forced turnover.
Sure is.
Man, Mundelein coach has got to be livid over getting trapped there by the half-court line. That's cost them a lot of turnovers this first half.
3:10 left to play here in this first half. Here is Devin Davis. Davis, free throw line for Horace, gives it back to Davis. He drives, he shoots, and he scores.
Man, nice finger roll, you know. He kicks that ball high up off the glass using the spin of the basketball. Another turnover.
Man, Darren Lee almost got hit with that ball, too. He was over there trying to talk to his players with those hand signals, and he almost got hit.
Yeah. Little Kenny Andrews is sitting down there at the scorer's table with his dad. I think I saw his eyes pop out of his head when that ball came over there.
What are they yelling? Some kind of code word? Well,
a little substitution.
I think, I think Mundelein had 6 players on the floor. Too many men on the ice call, right?
Should be a penalty, right?
In the sin bin for 2 minutes. Here is Devin Davis. He gets it onto the wing to Matt Clark. Clark, top of the key now for Nick Horace, who gives to Swaggart. Swaggart from the free throw line.
Nice
dumps
dish.
it off underneath Davis for 2.
Man, what a dish by Trey Swaggart.
And
kudos to Devin Davis for being ready for that basketball.
Boy, you aren't kidding there. That was the second part I was going to talk about. I would have been like, that ball would have hit me in the head.
Yeah.
There's a turnaround jump shot by Pollock, but he's fouled, and they're going to call a foul against Swaggart. No, they're going to call it against Wilkinson.
Well, thank goodness.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't see a foul, but thank goodness it's against Wilkinson.
To the free throw line is Pollock. And Coach Lee not happy with that call. He's talking to the referee over on the near sideline to make that the far sideline.
Andy, surely he didn't call that shooting. That's a 1-and-1, right?
Yeah, no, it's a shooting foul.
Oh, my.
Well, it's already 10 fouls anyway, so regardless it would be 2. And the first one's good.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That whistle was about 10 seconds after that shot.
It didn't need to happen. That was just some basketball play going on down there. Pollock at the free throw line. Just went 1 of 2 from there a moment ago. Hit his first one in this go-round. And the second one is going to be in there as well. So back to a 6-point lead for Collinsville.
Coach Darren Lee not happy. I wouldn't be either. He was just giving the referee an earful. If you look at the lopsided calls this first half, there's hardly any way you can justify that.
Davis off the glass, and it won't fall in, but Davis will head to the line for a couple. Finally, we get a whistle blown against Mundelein.
Yeah, good strong move by Davis. Credit him. He sort of jumped into the defender of Mundelein's body to earn that foul. That was a good heads-up basketball play by Davis.
Pollock commits his 3rd, so after this first shot by Devin Davis, he'll be replaced by Martin again. And Devin Davis at the free throw line. And he misses.
Sometimes it looks like these guys rush themselves from the line a little bit. We're always taught take a deep breath, bend your knees, that kind of thing. These guys a lot of times just step up and fire away. And, there is a much lower free throw percentage in today's game than there used to be. So there may be something to that.
Davis hits 1 of 2.
There's your 50%, Todd.
There it is. Collinsville back up by 7. Final 2:15 left to play here in this first half, and a timeout called by Matt Badgley and the Mundelein Mustangs. A 30-second timeout, so we'll step aside for just that long. Back in a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of K-Hawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go K-Hawks.
Todd Duke, Dr. Chris McCluskey back with you from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. 25-18, Collinsville with a 7-point lead over Mundelein. Semifinal number 3 of the day. Semifinal number 4 coming up next between O'Fallon and Granite City. Here is a steal by Collinsville, and underneath the basket, Devin Davis couldn't finish. He hit the bottom of the rim. Rebound belongs to Mundelein. They bring it up. Here is Reinhardt to Moaning for 3, and Moaning will hit from anywhere, I told you.
Ooh, that hurts.
That does. Shrinks it down to a 4-point game.
That's a 5-point swing.
Here is Swaggart back to Davis. On the wing now to Horace. Nick Horace. A little 2-foot pass to Davis. Davis on the right wing, top of the key for Swaggart, left wing for Wilkinson. Now he gives way for Nicky Horace. Here is Devin Davis. Davis back out to the front now for Swaggart. Swaggart eyes, spins, moves, off the glass, can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound, puts it back, still can't get it to go. He finds a little bit more room, and then the final push belongs to Mundelein. And now a foul on Devin Davis. He didn't do anything.
No. With 1 minute left in the second quarter.
We've got about 15 fouls called against us in this first half, and Mundelein has only been tagged for 6.
Wow.
Some of these fouls are very questionable.
Wow.
Davis has to stay on the floor for a moment, waiting for the first free throw shot for Tyler Moaning. And 2 shots coming up for him.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll question individual calls just because it's fun to break down the game, but rarely will I comment on the general body of work of a referee crew. But if you were ever going to question it, this first half would be one to question.
And a second shot by Moaning.
We got a new ball game.
That we do. 3-point lead belongs to Collinsville. Here is Dayton Horace. Dayton over to Franklin. Deontay Franklin back into the game, taking the place of Devin Davis because he's in foul trouble with 3. Here is Horace at the free throw line. Jumps in. Good for 2.
Nice dribble drive. Little runner by 24, Dayton Horace. See if Collinsville can D up and extend this lead going into halftime.
Moaning gets the ball over in the paint and taking a dribble drive and another foul. Wouldn't have it any other way, would you?
Probably justifiable there. Nice dribble drive by
Kevin Moyer.
Number 24, Moyer. And Franklin just couldn't keep up with him. He had no choice but to put his body into him. And Collinsville can hope for a couple of missed free throws here.
Hawks are up by 5 with 42 seconds left. That one is off to the right.
And there's one. I always say if he misses 2 free throws, it's a good foul.
Yeah, it is. Because there's no harm, no foul. That's the thing. But the foul did happen, so there is no harm, but there was a foul. And that one is 1 for 2 performance from Moyer. So it makes it a 4-point contest. Collinsville brings the ball up with 40 seconds left on the clock. Here is Nick Horace. Nick across the timeline and settles in over at the K-Hawk logo at midcourt. Down to 30 seconds. This place gets quiet when that happens, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I'm telling
I feel
you.
like whistling out loud or something, right? Or like a "Let's go, Nicky Tony."
Let's go, Nicky Tony.
Right?
10 seconds left. Now we get back to work. Here is Nicky Tony. And throws it into the corner. Franklin
on, baby.
for 3.
Yes,
He
sir!
drains it. Big 3-point drain there. And from half court. Oh, big one. Oh, they count it. No basket, they said.
It
no
went through
basket.
and came back out.
Sure did.
It spun the net so hard, the net kicked the ball back out of the hoop. Oh, my.
But they say no basket at the end of the second quarter. It's a 7-point lead for your Collinsville K-Hawks, 30-23. We'll wait for the first half stats And we'll bring those to you in just a moment here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud K-Hawk alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by. See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place World Champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene with Visionary Wealth Advisors at his new Collinsville office located at 106 North Clinton, or call Brad at 618-467-8420. Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Extreme Details, owned and operated by former K-Hawk Jay Merkel. Jay and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or an RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, and they vacuum every vehicle regardless of what package you choose. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 977-1224 or visit Extreme Details at 936 St. Louis Road in Collinsville. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details. Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium on Main Street in Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz. And classic rock, it's always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl by the hundreds, plus new releases by new artists as well as reissues by classic artists. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's Record Emporium. There, you can test out all the latest in audio gear, from top-of-the-line speakers to the latest in new turntables, plus amps, streamers, and all of the accessories like needles, belts, and more. While you're there, check out the music-related wall art, as well as t-shirts, record cleaners, and so much more. Plus, if you can't find it at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Come check out Collinsville's only record store, Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in beautiful uptown Collinsville, 618-795-1333, online, richesrecordemporium.com. Ogle Auctions in Collinsville, your place for online auctioning. Go to ogleauctions.com to check out the week's items up for auction. Ogle Auctions deals in everyday items like board games, t-shirts, clocks, antique items, and more, to collectible items. Anyone in the market for, say, a trolley? Or maybe you're into more treasure troves like vinyl albums, cars, or motorcycles. And Ogle Auctions is always on the lookout for more auctionable items. Ogle Auctions of Collinsville. Auctions every Sunday at 7 p.m. Check them out at www.ogleauctions.com or call Kim or Mike Ogle at 618-218-2117. Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for K-Hawk fans, before, after, or even during K-Hawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows K-Hawk games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, K-Hawk fans' pub of choice. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Halftime, 30-23. Collinsville leads by 7. Here's a look at your first half stats. Leading Collinsville in points is Devin Davis. He has 9 points. He leads all players in points with 9. 7 points for Travion Swaggart, 6 for Jake Wilkinson and Deontay Franklin, and 2 for Dayton Horace. For Mundelein, they are being led in points by Tyler Monings, 7 points. After that, 5 for Derek Bishop, 4 for Chris Martin, 3 for Brock Palick, and then 2 each for Mr. Reinhardt and Kevin Moyer. Looking at the three-point line, Collinsville is 2 of 7 from beyond the three-point stripe, while Mundelein is 2 of 4. Free throw line, Collinsville has hit 2 of 7, while Mundelein has hit 9 of 15. The rebounds, Collinsville is winning that battle 17-10. And the turnovers, Collinsville has turned the ball over 5 times compared to 9 for Mundelein. And I wish they had a foul department on here, because that would be a little bit lopsided. We're looking on the sheet here, and they do not. They do not have that stat. But it's lopsided. I would guarantee you it's 16-6. Collinsville has been called for a lot of fouls here in this contest. And that'll do it for our halftime stat. Points off of turnovers. 13-4 K-Hawks. That's the difference in the game right now. So that's a look at your first half stats. We'll take another timeout here, and when we come back, we will have second half action, and that'll come your way in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
County's longest-running, leading independent newspaper. The Times-Tribune covers Troy, Collinsville, Maryville, and all the villages and communities of Madison County. From area city halls to sports, including the Collinsville K-Hawks and Unit 10 District News. The Times-Tribune covers that and more. The Times-Tribune is a weekly hometown newspaper published every Thursday, and a one-year subscription is only $40 for the printed and online editions. For more information, call the Times-Tribune at 618-667-3111, online at timestribunenews.com, or follow them on Facebook at Times-Tribune.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Todd Duke, Dr. Chris McCluskey with you. We're just about ready for second half action. Collinsville up by 7. Mundelein with the ball as we begin the second half of play. Across the line it goes to Moaning. Moaning over on the far sideline gets trapped, and that ball is knocked out of bounds by Horace. And at least no fouls were called.
Yeah, we just broke the that last second shot down in slow motion. That was a good call by the refs. The ball was still in his hands when the buzzer blew. So kudos to the crew for making the right call.
One of the right calls they made this game.
I wasn't going to say it, Todd.
I had some folks in the men's room asking me, so how much bad talking are you doing on the referees on the air? I'm like, not much yet.
My 11-year-old daughter's pissed. She was fit to be tied over there.
Oh, I'm telling you. They don't have a stat for the fouls that were called, but I guarantee you it was 16-6, somewhere around there.
Amazing.
There is Wilkinson on the wing, and Collinsville shooting at the basket farthest away from us now. Our location up here in the balcony, but over on the right side of your screen, here is Swaggart on the left wing. He gets it in the perimeter for Matt Clark. Matt Clark with a dribble drive. Get that out of here, says Martin. And the ball is loose, and it's picked up by Bishop. Bishop races into the perimeter, and a travel by Bishop as he kind of ran into Dayton Horace, and that caused him to move his feet.
Yeah, that was another good call by the refs. They must have had their Gatorade at halftime.
They got a pep talk from the head of the officiating crew.
I bet they did.
Listen, boys.
I said we should have started our JV squad in the second half with as much foul trouble as we're in.
Here is Swaggart. Gives the ball up over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson on the right side, near sideline. Dumps it off across the way to Matt Clark. Back to Swaggart. Swaggart dribbles across the paint and underhands it to Horace. Horace, turnaround, fadeaway, good.
Man, nice spin move by Nicky Tony. Little fadeaway jump shot. That'll put Collinsville up by 9 with 6.5 left in the third quarter.
Collinsville extends their leads, and then a couple of mistakes leads to a Mundelein comeback. And we're hoping after this, oh, come on. Clark reaching over Pollock, and they're going to call Clark on the over the bat call. All he was doing was reaching his arm over, trying to block the ball.
Pretty good defense to me.
Yeah.
But we might as well finish tonight with 40 fouls. Why not?
Dave Wilhelm says, be careful, guys. Gary Gustafson is looming. There's a turnaround shot off of the rim, and Swaggart there with the rebound for Collinsville. Headmans it all the way up to Wilkinson. Wilkinson off the glass, good for 2.
Man, nice transition play. Heads up by Trey Swaggart. Jake Wilkinson's running the floor, good for 2 for the K-Hawks.
Collinsville up by 11 now, 34-23. 6 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Winner moves on to the semifinals later tonight. They'll get the winner of the next game between O'Fallon and Granite City. One semifinal is already set. We'll have Decatur MacArthur taking on Quincy at 6:30 tonight. Here is Bishop. Bishop tries to move in, and his opposing number 30 is Wilkinson. Top of the key now from Martin. Martin gets around Clark.
That's a charge.
And that is a charge, and that is going the other way, and Martin has just picked up his 3rd.
Man, Matt Clark continues to put on a defensive display here in this quarterfinal game, giving up a ton of size to Martin, but he doesn't care.
Here is Horace. He hands the ball off to Wilkinson. Wilkinson back near the midcourt stripe, gives it up on the left wing for Clark. Into the corner for Wilkinson. Wilkinson, one bounce in the perimeter, takes the shot, and it's good.
Man, Wilkinson's shooting like 80% this game. Unbelievable.
36-23, Collinsville widens the lead. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Matt Bagley calls a timeout after he crosses the line. That's exactly what he was trying to do. He's like, get it across the line, get it across the line. As soon as he did, it's like, timeout.
Yeah, that's right.
A timeout on the floor, so we'll step aside as well, and we're back in 1 minute here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
The reviews are in. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville is a hit in the Metro East. Folks both local and just visiting the area are calling Old Herald Brewery and Distillery a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville is located at 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville and is home to one of the only restaurants in the state with their own brewery and distillery that produces some of the best brews and spirits in the industry. And the food? All created by an in-house chef using local ingredients that will please any palate. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville has daily specials for both inside diners as well as offering curbside pickup specials and family-size specials. And don't forget to take home a bottle or a growler of beers brewed on site at Old Herald Brewery and Distillery. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville. Check their Facebook page for daily specials, online ordering at oldheraldbrewery.com, or give them a call at 855-8027.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Todd Duke, Dr. Chris McCluskey along with you. Collinsville and Mundelein hooked up here in semifinal number 3 of the day. Trying to move on to, quarterfinal number 3 of the day, trying to move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, nice start by the K-Hawks to come out here in the second half, force Matt Badgley to take a timeout to talk things over. Oh, boy.
What in the world was that?
Swaggart tried to pick his pocket. He must have got some skin on the defender because the referee blew the whistle and nobody complained.
Well, I bet they're complaining in their heads.
Oh, yeah.
36-23, Collinsville with the lead. Mundelein with the ball. Here is Reinhardt, and that ball is blocked out. Nicely done there by Matt Clark.
Yeah, great defense by Nick Horace. Clark comes up with the steal. Here come the K-Hawks.
Swaggart with it, just outside the lane, gives to Horace. Horace all the way out front to Wilkinson.
Yeah,
Wilkinson.
Horace knew that Martin was behind him. Good heads-up play.
Wilkinson right in front of his coach, Darren Lee. Moves it up outside the lane for Matt Clark. Clark looks for a little help, finds it in the form of Travion Swaggart. Swaggart dribbles and drives into the paint. Underhand shot, rolls across the rim. Clark with the rebound and the putback, good for 2.
My man, Matt Clark, he is excited. Offensive board, puts it back for 2 to extend Collinsville's lead to 15 with 4 to go.
38-23. Into the corner it goes for Reinhardt. They kick it back out front for Bishop. Bishop from the free throw line. Hop, skip, and a jump, and it's in.
That's the old Euro step there,
You
Todd.
ain't
I was
kidding.
telling you about it. That means you can't have a walking call.
I don't understand it, but okay.
It's crazy. He was at the
Swaggart.
three-point line.
Yeah. At the three-point line, then jumped onto the free throw line, and then another jump later, and now we're going to have a foul, and this one's going to go against Bishop.
Well, Collinsville's doing everything that Coach Lee, I would imagine, asked them to do to come out and start this third period. You know, if they can finish strong here in the third quarter, they could basically put this game out of reach.
First foul against Bishop. Each team now with 2 fouls up on the board to the free throw line. It is Nick Horace. Horace hits it.
There he is. I told you, he doesn't want to hear our nonsense about his free throws, Todd. Nicky Tony says, watch this, fellas.
He went 2 for 2 in yesterday's game, so now he's 3 for 3 in the tournament.
That's right.
He's like, I'm tired of hearing that 50% crap coming out of your mouth. Here is Nicky with another one, and he hits both of them.
Look at that.
100% is a lot better than 50.
100%.
Last time I checked the rule book, 100% is a lot better than 50.
Yes, sir.
Here is Bishop. Bishop at the top of the key. Into the perimeter, back out, splits the defense, comes charging in, and a foul going to be handed out to Matt Clark.
Yeah, that was actually a nice aggressive move by Derek Bishop, trying to get to the hoop, and he just got by the Collinsville defender and really earned that foul.
Bishop to the free throw line. Bishop with 7 points so far in this contest, and he gets his team to within 14. Deontay Franklin will check back in. Travion Swaggart to the bench. At the free throw line, Bishop has one more coming his way. And he hits both of them. And on the buzzer, Bishop will go to the bench. Lucas Gannon, a junior guard, will come in to take Bishop's place.
Yeah, seeing some new players here from Mundelein get some playing time here in the second half.
Inbound pass comes into Nick Horace from Wilkinson. Horace works it up across the line. He is fouled right off the bat. Coming off the bench, Lucas Gannon commits a foul 5 seconds after he's on the floor.
Well, credit Nick. You know, the guy was playing Nick to go left, and Nick knew it, and he just went right, and again, he kind of earned that foul.
Inbound pass from one Horace to the other, younger brother to older brother. Here is Dayton. He spins across and gets out of Reinhardt's way. Over under the wing, gives back to Wilkinson. Shot. Wilkinson's on fire tonight.
Wilkinson, cash money records for Jake Wilkinson here this afternoon.
Here is Moaning. Moaning over to Martin. Martin lost control of the ball, had to go get it, and that messed up his plans.
Because
Out
he's
front
scared
for
of Clark.
Yeah. Here is Moaning again. Moaning Travels and over on the three-point side. Can't get it to go. Wilkinson with the rebound. Underhands it to Dayton Horace. Horace brings it across the timeline with 2:50 to play here in this third quarter. Out front for Nick Horace. Nick hands the ball off to Wilkinson. Wilkinson comes out of that near side corner and then underhands it to Dayton Horace.
Yeah, at this point, you're happy to just kind of slow play and choose some time off the clock and here to finish up the third period.
On the wing for Franklin. Franklin, the senior, to the top of the key for Dayton Horace. Dayton also a senior. A shot.
Ooh, I think that's number 4 on Martin, huh?
I think it might be. Yeah, yep, they're going to call it on number 40, and that is going to be his 4th.
Well, just when we thought Collinsville was going to be in trouble, you know, on the foul situation, Mundelein's big man, Mr. Martin, finds himself with 4 fouls with 2 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's going to be taken out of this game, and he probably won't see anything until the middle of the fourth quarter, if that, depending on the score.
Right.
Horace misses his 1 free throw, and he'll go up for the next one here in a minute after Martin and the newly inserted Lucas Gannon go out. And in their stead, Moyer and Bishop come back into the game.
I see Dayton for dinner here in the hospitality room. I'm going to tell him to take some free throw lessons from his little brother.
There you go. Sure he'll like to hear that. I ain't doing nothing, man. 43-27. That ball is knocked out of the hands of Bishop, and it's going to stay with Mundelein.
Yeah, good quick hands by the senior Dayton Horace.
Brady O'Neill out cleaning up. Now Brady O'Neill at one end and Josh Roseman at the other end with the sweat mop-up duties here. That's a three-point shot that's missed. And
yeah, nice heads-up play by Dayton Horace. He jumps up, grabs the ball, throws it off the leg of the Mundelein player.
And he just happened to be standing out of bounds, yeah.
Right.
He had that one leg out of bounds, and that's the leg that he threw it off of. There is Nick Horace.
This is one of the best games we've seen Dayton Horace play this season.
Yeah. Thank you. Over in the other gym, Wasilla, Arkansas falls to Oakville 66-37.
Or Alaska.
Or did I say Arkansas again? I keep on saying that. I don't know why. There's whoa, that one ended up in the ankles.
Soccer.
Yeah. Nobody really wanted that ball, and a little dribble coming up the court, but it was more of a soccer dribble.
Uh-oh.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Uh-oh, Nicky got his ankles broke.
Moaning just took Horace right out of his shoes.
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
Moaning had a day there with Horace, and now underneath the basket we're going to have a holding call, and this one looks like it's going to go against Pollock.
I like that play.
Nope, they're going to call it against Reinhardt.
Nicky went down, wasn't feeling too good about it, so he took the ball right back down. They called it on the floor, I guess.
Actually, they called that foul against Kevin Moyer. Moyer picks up his second. And the Mustangs now with 5 fouls, and Matt Bagley will take a timeout, 60-second timeout. So we will take that much time as well, and we'll be back here in just a moment on the K-Hawks Sports.
Chapman Trucking, LLC. Chapman Trucking is a local Collinsville business owned and operated by 1994 Collinsville graduate Christy Chapman. With over 10 years of experience, Chapman Trucking, LLC can take care of all of the heavy lifting when it comes to hauling aggregate materials such as sand, driveway rock, dirt, boulders, and more. That includes getting your heavy work equipment to your work site where it needs to be. Give Christy a call for a free estimate at Chapman Trucking, LLC. 618-960-9346 or online at chapmantruckingllc.net.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Todd Duke, Dr. Chris McCluskey with you. 1:24 left to play here in this third quarter. Collinsville up 43-27, and the K-Hawks with the ball. Here is Dayton Horace, trapped in the corner, gets out of it with a pass to Deontay Franklin. Franklin, a couple of dribbles out toward midcourt, gives it back up to Nick Horace. Nick on the left wing. Gives it up over onto the right side for Wilkinson. Wilkinson being bothered over there by Moyer, and now back over to Nick Horace. Gives it up to older brother Dayton Horace, and away from the play we have a whistle. And this one is going to go against Deontay Franklin. I don't know what happened, but that's his third.
I think it's
he doesn't even know.
Moving pick of some sort. I don't know.
Not a clue. Here is Moaning. Moaning travels into the perimeter, and he is triple teamed, turns around, takes the shot, can't get it to go. Rebound belongs to Dayton Horace.
Oh, baby.
Gets it all the way up to Wilkinson, who got behind everyone, and an easy two for Jake Wilkinson.
Man, Jake does a great job of running the floor. I mean, he snags so many easy buckets just from being willing to run the floor.
On the wing for Bishop, right in front of his bench. We're down to the final 30 seconds of this third quarter. And Bishop will shoot a three-pointer. That one's no good. Rebound belongs to Jake Wilkinson. And Collinsville will bring it back up again. And a whistle on the play, and a foul will be handed out to Reinhardt.
Yeah, I like Darren Lee having senior Dayton Horace handle the ball now. Devin Davis is a great player. I mean, he's on the bench because of fouls, but Dayton Horace, he's very crafty handling the basketball, him and his brother Nick, and you're going to see them have guard duties here to end this game probably.
There is a dump off underneath. Matt Clark all alone, low post, and that was an easy bucket for Clark.
We got an injured player.
We do have an injured player, and that is Pollock, I believe. He's holding on to that left knee.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
Yeah, you do. Amanda Bauer is out checking on him, so while we have an injury timeout, we'll step aside as well. Back in just a moment
Lakeside
on the
Roofing
K-Hawk
in
Sports
Collinsville.
Network.
Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside's all-star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Lakeside Roofing, celebrating 50 years of serving the metro area. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
Well, we had a buzzer beater as we were away for commercial. That injury didn't take too long as Pollock got up and got off the court under his own power, but had to go to the bench, and a buzzer beater makes it 47-29 at the end of the third quarter. So another timeout in between quarters coming your way, and we'll be back in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from K-Hawk Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200.
Back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Fourth quarter is upon us, 47-29. Collinsville with an 18-point lead as we approach the final quarter here in this third quarterfinal game. Winner of this game will move on to the semifinals. They'll take on the winner of our next game. That's between O'Fallon and Granite City. So, Max Frankie, you might have your wish of a Collinsville-O'Fallon hookup here in the semifinal later tonight. Collinsville with the ball. Here is Deontay Franklin. Franklin gives it up now for Devin Davis. Davis hasn't seen any action for a while as he was in foul trouble. And Collinsville out front for Wilkinson. Wilkinson a floater. That one misses. Probably the only miss that Wilkinson's had here the whole game.
No doubt it.
Here is Moaning. Moaning comes in and steps out just outside the lane, takes the shot, count the bucket, and the bruise against Devin Davis. And Davis came right back into the game because he was in foul trouble, and now Davis is going to pick up foul number 4.
Oh, boy, that didn't take long, did it?
Nope. Sure did not. 16-point game now. And to the free throw line is Moaning. Davis will go out. Travion Swaggart will come back in. And Swaggart, he's back out there with his 3 fouls. Moaning at the free throw line. And good. Makes it a 15-point contest. We have a lot of time to go here. 7.5 minutes in this fourth quarter. Inbound pass will come in from Swaggart to Franklin. Franklin looks to move the ball up. Does so with a pass to Dayton Horace. Dayton crosses the timeline in front of Reinhardt. Throws it over into the corner. Trey Swaggart for 3, and yes, he buries it. 50 points.
Travion Swaggart with a big bucket to start the fourth quarter.
50-32, and getting 2 of that back was Tyler Moaning. Moaning gets his team back to within 16 now. Here is Franklin. Franklin to Horace, and Horace lost control of the ball, and now he's double teamed, and a timeout called by Collinsville. We'll save that one, and we will, okay, full timeout. No, the 30-second timeout. So they changed the hand signals on me. 30-second timeout. So, at any rate, we'll be back here in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
K-Hawks used another one of their timeouts as they were trapped a little bit at midcourt. And Collinsville back to action. Here is Swaggart on the right wing. He's being guarded there by Bishop. Gets it into the paint for Clark. Kicks it back outside for Horace, who throws it back out to midcourt for Wilkinson. Wilkinson dribbles, drives, and then kicks it back out for Franklin. Franklin at the top of the key now for Dayton Horace. Horace gives it up for Swaggart. Swaggart lost control of it, and a foul by Swaggart. He was just turning around trying to find the ball, and he accidentally, I think, brushed his finger across Bishop, and they call Swaggart for the foul. I'm telling you, man, something's lopsided here.
Man, I hope these guys aren't around in semis and finals.
Devin Davis comes off the bench, immediately picks up a foul. Swaggart comes in to take his place. Barely any contact. They call a foul against him.
Darren
and
Lee
I know that things are even. Each team has 6 fouls on the board, but come on already.
Darren Lee's coming unglued.
There is Bishop, spin move, lost the ball. Matt Clark finds it, gives it up to Dayton Horace. A bounce pass over to Nicky Horace, and back to the other Horace. That's Dayton, and across the timeline they come. Back over to Nick, and Nick tries to get around Reinhardt. There was some contact, no call there. And off the glass, Matt Clark good for 2.
Man, nice unselfish basketball. Horace to Franklin to Clark for 2.
There is Moaning, and Moaning runs right over Matt Clark, but they're going to...
Yeah, good effort by Clark. I think that was the right call. His feet were moving. And you can always call player control, but I don't believe that player was out of control. So one of the times this crew's gotten it right, I believe.
Matt Clark picks up his 3rd foul, 7th team foul, so it's free throw shooting time here for Mundelein. And at the line will be Mr. Moaning. And Vinny Rogalowski checks back into the game for the Mustangs. Moaning at the free throw line. Hits his first one. He'll stay up for a bonus. Still a lot of time left in this fourth quarter. 6 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Emmanuel Willoughby will check into the game for the first time for Mundelein. At the free throw line, Moaning for one more shot. And he drains both of them. 52-36. Here is a dribble drive and a kickoff into the corner for Wilkinson from Horace. Top of the key now for Franklin. Over in front of his own bench, that is Nick Horace. Behind the back dribble, picks it up and gives it up into the corner for Wilkinson. Wilkinson back to the top of the key for Dayton Horace. Horace had the ball knocked out of his hands and into the backcourt it goes. Horace still comes away with it. Timeout called by Matt Clark. as they try to reset. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing, Coach.
He called the timeout. Coach Lee said, what?
What'd you call a timeout for? I don't know.
He's standing there with nobody around. We call that a Matt Clark moment.
Okay.
I love that kid.
A timeout on the court. We'll be back here in just a moment on the
lights
K-Hawk
on
Sports
dashboard
Network.
Putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations, Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, spreadable cream cheese cups. Man, I'm starving, and they're talking about food.
Oh, baby.
Here is Nick Horace. He lost control of the ball, and I guess it's going to say it was off of the Mundelein player, Willoughby.
News to me. Looked like a spin move and right out of bounds.
I don't think these referees are watching the same game we are.
Man, oh, man.
52-36, K-Hawks have the lead. 5.5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Here is Dayton Horace. Horace spins out of trouble into the paint, kicks it out for Franklin, and then all the way back outside for Nick Horace. He immediately gets double teamed, and a whistle on the play. We're going to have a foul coming up. It's either going to go against Bishop or, nope, it's going to go against Vinny, my cousin Vinny Rogalowski.
You know, this tournament always makes me think of our old buddy Jerry Sulky, and I told Jeremy Hall at halftime, I said, we need Sulky here because I can hear him right now. He'd say, the 3 blind mice.
Good for Nick Horace. Yeah, that nursery rhyme fits because there's only 3 referees. Maybe they should make it 4 and you can't say that anymore.
I was thinking they should make it 2 so there's less whistles out there.
There you go. That'll work too. And Nicky Horace makes both. 54-36. Collinsville extends that lead. Here's a 3-point try by Moaning, and he rattles it. Won't go in, and now a ball out of bounds, and it'll stay in Mundelein's possession as Martin is back out there with his 4 fouls. Reinhardt checks back into the game for Mundelein. Inbound pass will come in underneath of their own basket. And a little bit of trouble getting it in, but they finally find Moaning. Moaning underneath, and that's off of Martin and out of bounds. Turnover by the Mustangs.
Yeah,
Collinsville
good
gets
for
the ball
a turnover.
back.
Credit Darren Lee for a nice defensive scheme. We've got Clark, and then we've got Wilkinson available to double-team Martin, knowing he's the biggest threat on the court, and that turns into a Mundelein turnover.
Cade McLaughlin will check back into the game. Martin will go to the bench. Also back in is Kevin Moyer, and that will send Tyler Moaning to the bench. Inbound pass coming up from underneath the Mundelein basket by Wilkinson. Gets it into Horace, who gets it over to Franklin. Franklin with a pass to Dayton Horace. Across the way, Matt Clark just outside the lane, dumps it off underneath. That's off of a body belonging to Mundelein. Collinsville will keep it just as Wilkinson was trying to get that ball to go up for an easy, uncontested layup.
Yeah, good movement on the press break, and credit Mundelein for hustling down the court and interfering with that easy layup.
Here is Dayton Horace collecting the inbound pass on the near side sideline. Comes around, cuts through the lane, off the glass. Good fingertip roll for 2.
Wow, Dayton Horace must have springs in his shoes. That boy got up.
20-point lead now for Collinsville, 56-36, their biggest lead of the night. They're at the outside perimeter are the Mustangs. A bounce pass over to Bishop. Bishop gets it back over into the hands of Rogalowski. Into the corner it goes. 3-point shot from McLaughlin. Comes right back to where it came from, and Horace tried to save it from going out of bounds, but stepped on the line when he had the ball in his hand. Or he had the hand on the ball. Martin will check back in once again with those 4 fouls.
Yeah, at this point, Mundelein's going to have to either get some quick buckets or start firing 3 balls. This game is starting to slip away for the Mustangs.
Into the corner for Moaning, and Martin with it. Martin, he's trapped by Matt Clark once again. Clark doing a great job all day on the big man for the Mustangs. And back to Martin, and Martin just bowls right over.
There it is.
That's a charging call. And out of the game is Martin. That's his 5th and final foul of the day.
Man, again, you just mentioned it. Credit Matt Clark He absolutely owned Mr. Martin during this basketball game.
He has.
Good for that young man, Mr. Clark. He certainly has done his job.
Matt Clark feeling his oats, isn't that what they say?
I mean, not a lot of buckets, but I got to tell you, he may be the MVP of this ball game.
And he'll get the inbound pass from Wilkinson. Wilkinson gets it right back, and they'll give to Dayton Horace. Over to Wilkinson, across the line to Franklin. Franklin over to Nicky Horace, and a mismatch, and they were going to try to give and go to Wilkinson, but Wilkinson was already well past the point of no return. But the rebound on the other end belongs to Dayton Horace, and Horace dribbles his way up and gives to Wilkinson. That ball knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with Collinsville.
Yeah, Collinsville in fifth gear there, overdrive. Probably not a bad idea to slow her down and go into a little bit more of an Edwards-style basketball. And here's why, Todd, is because we got to play another ball game today.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
8 o'clock tonight.
It's time to save those legs, boys.
Well, I mean, considering that we've got a 20-point lead with 3:49 left to play, I think it's safe to assume that we'll be playing at 8 o'clock tonight in the semifinal. But
this would be a tough one to give up.
I think so, and I don't want to watch it if it does, but I got to be here anyway. Here is Dayton Horace. Horace with a right-hand dribble runs, and underneath the basket, Clark left all alone, and Matt Clark picking up point number 8 tonight.
The quarterfinal MVP, Matt Clark.
I don't think they give out MVPs for quarterfinals.
I just gave it out.
I hear you. The Chiropractic Works quarterfinal MVP award goes to Matt Clark.
Honorable mention, Dayton Horace, by the way.
Collinsville in control. Here's a three-point try from the wing. That tips off the rim, and Dayton Horace had his hands on it first, and now he continues to have his hands on it, and a foul is going to be handed out to Reinhardt, I believe.
Yeah, let's get some subs in the game here, Coach, to save these boys' legs. Dayton Horace is running around like a man on a mission, diving on the floor with 3 minutes left. Give this kid a break.
Devin Davis is going to come back into the game because he hasn't seen a lot of action in this game after early foul trouble.
Yeah, sophomore Jamori Weisinger slated into the game for the K-Hawks as well.
9th team foul for Mundelein, and that one was on Reinhardt, his second to the free throw line. Dayton Horace still bent over in a little bit of pain at the free throw line. And Davis will come in, and Weisinger will come in after Dayton Horace gets through with his free throw shots. First one good, so he'll stay for the bonus. One more of those, and Collinsville will hit 60 points. And that one just would not fall in. Rebound belongs to Mundelein, so Weisinger will have to wait a little bit longer. Bringing the ball up with a head of steam is Rogalowski. Into the corner it goes to Gannon. Gannon bounces the ball back out front to Rogalowski, and then over onto the wing it goes to Willoughby. Willoughby dribbles, drives, looking for some baseline move. He stepped out of bounds. I saw that before the whistle happened.
And he carried the ball before that happened. You need to take him out to Willoughby Farms and get a picture made.
Wow, that took you long enough. 2:47 left to play. Dayton Horace gets a nice hand as he goes off, and Zach Chambers checks into the game, as does Jamori Weisinger.
Well deserved for Mr. Horace. Well deserved. And Matt Clark.
Here is a pass over to Weisinger. Weisinger at the top of the key for Wilkinson. Wilkinson dumps off an underhand pass to Devin Davis. Davis back out to the top of the key. 2.5 to go here in this fourth quarter. Over to Weisinger. Weisinger dribbles, drives into the perimeter, and then comes right back out to Zach Chambers. He's double teamed, and a travel will cause him to move his feet.
He knew it. He called travel on himself before the referees called it.
Ian Zhu checks into the game. His whole name combined consists of 5 letters. Ian, I-A-N. Last name Zhu, X-U.
Has to be a record here at the Prairie Farms tournament.
I would think so. When they ask you to enter your last name and there's only a spot for 2 letters, he's going to win the prize. Here is a pass out to the front, and that is Gannon. Gannon gets it right back in between the slot, between the center circle and the top of the key. Now over on the wing for Rogalowski. Rogalowski gives it right back up now for Gannon. Gannon over on the wing, and into the corner it goes. Willoughby works his way out from the farm. Here's a hook shot. Misses. Deontay Franklin is there with the rebound. Collinsville brings it back up. 95 seconds left to go in this one. Collinsville will move on to the semifinal. They'll take on the winner of the next game between O'Fallon and Granite City.
Jamori Weisinger tries one from about
Well,
22.
there you
He gets
go.
the ball back.
And he is, wow, they didn't call that a foul.
I think that at this point in time, the referees are under explicit instructions to get this game over with. We got a lot of basketball to play this afternoon.
Matt Shelton comes off the bench for Collinsville. With 1:22 left to play, Collinsville will clean the bench out, except for Devin Davis. Or excuse me, they took Devin Davis out. That they did.
Yeah,
so
Khalil Thorpe's back in the game.
He is. There is Weisinger. Got the JVers out there getting a little varsity action here in this tournament. Over to Weisinger. Weisinger at the free throw line will shoot one from there. It's off to the left. And the rebound by Shelton kicks it all the way back out to Deontay Franklin. Franklin, 1 minute to go here in this fourth quarter. One more game coming your way before dinner break happens. No lunch break today. There's a steal. And here is Rogolowski. And he got that ball picked out of his back pocket almost there by Shelton.
Yeah, nice hustle by Shelton.
There's a three-point try on the other wing, and no good. Ball tipped right into Shelton's hands. Shelton will bring it up with 35 seconds left to play here in this one. Collinsville beat Mundelein in the championship game a couple years ago, 63-48. And Mundelein's not even going to hit 48 points in this one.
Well, good thing Khalil got fouled before he walked. He took about 6 steps. But good dribble drive by Thorpe's Watt, and he'll earn himself a trip to the free throw line with 27.7 left.
10th foul for Mundelein, so shooting 2 will be Thorpe's Watt. And the first one's off to the right.
Collinsville's got everybody back. No need to be up crowding the hoop. Get back here, get a little rest, get some lunch, get a nap, come back for what should be a great game at 8 o'clock, no matter if it's Granite City or O'Fallon.
Oh, yeah. That is true. And, of course, the O'Fallon Panthers would love a rematch because so far that is their only loss of the year is against Collinsville. And here is a chance at the free throw line, and Zoo throws it out of bounds off of the hands of his teammate Willoughby. 12.6 seconds left. Collinsville will bring the ball up and just run out the clock if Mundelein lets them, and Mundelein doesn't look like they're going to let them. Well, somebody just shouted from the bench, no foul, so they'll let them come up slowly. And Collinsville will end up winning this game by a score of 60-36, and the K-Hawks will move on to semifinal game number 2, where they will face O'Fallon or Granite City. That game comes your way next. I guess we'll see you back here at 8 o'clock, right, Mr. McCluskey?
You got that right. I'm excited.
All right, we will see you then. And that's going to do it for this particular broadcast. We will take a break, come back, get you ready for the O'Fallon Granite City matchup next on the K-Hawk Sports Network.